some kits and some builds I've done. Cause model building is supposed to be fun. So push play and away we go. It's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Yeah, it's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Hey everybody, Dave Weiss here for the Glue Bomb Show. Well, today I've got a review for you on my Random Weirdness Group Build kit for the year. This is Flame's Bumblebee from the Transformers series. I picked this one up at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance, which I like. But the main reason I picked it up was this picture right here. I don't know if I would have been interested in it if it had looked like a clean robot, but this battle-weary, beaten kind of character really got me excited. And I picked it up, and I was a little short on creatures this year. You guys who are manufacturers need to get on that, especially you, Atlantis, with that Think Eliminator. I want that thing badly. Anyway, I love those guys. They do some great work. But I had this one in the stash, and I thought, what a good time to build a Transformer than the Random Weirdness Group build. So that's what I did. Now, again, a reminder, in case you're curious, this model does not transform into a car, okay? It is a static build with plenty of posability, but you can't fold it into a car, just to be sure you know that, okay? So, here's what I came up with. There's Bumblebee. Like I say, I beat him up pretty badly, and but I think he looks like he's been in a battle, and I'm pretty happy with how he looks. All right, so here's what I did. I started off by spray painting all the parts. The gray parts all got painted gray. The yellow parts all got painted yellow. Some of the parts got painted silver, and some of the parts got painted black. Those were the main colors that I used. Now, again, this was actually cast in color, so maybe I wouldn't have had to do that. But I knew I wanted to weather this thing a lot, and I thought it would be nice to have some good enamel for my paint to bite into. So I did the assembly. Now, the assembly of the kit was pretty nice, okay? I was expecting a little more like Bandai, where you pretty much shake the box and you come out with a completed model. This wasn't quite that good, but it was pretty good. I have a couple places where I needed to do a little seam work, but it was nothing major. It was easy to accomplish, and overall, really nice kit. So, after I did the building, right, I built it in sections so that we had the body, the legs, individual legs, of course. We had this jetpack thing, and the arms. I built that all separately, and I weathered it after that, after I had those parts put together. So, the first thing I did was I decided that the spray painted finish looked way too clean. So I took some of my spray paint, and I added some, because it was all enamels, and I added some white enamel to it, some flat white enamel, and started brushing it on, and got this kind of streaky, faded, weathered look, which is exactly what I wanted. And so that came out really nicely. And I wasn't too worried about the fact that it wouldn't be smooth, because first of all, like I say, I wanted it to look like it was beaten. And second of all, I knew I was going to do quite a bit of washing on it. I did all the yellow parts have a burnt umber wash on them, and I tried to kind of target that a little more than sometimes I do, rather than slathering the whole thing. And I'm really pretty happy with how it came out. And so I put the wash on, wiped it off, left it in the areas where I wanted it, and then I went to the black, where I took some silver and just kind of aluminum, I should say, and just kind of touched the edges of places where I thought it looked like the paint might get chipped away. And then I also went over the yellow parts with that. And then finally, I did a black wash over all the black parts to give it a little more patina. I spray painted them with more of a flat black, but they still looked a little glossy, so I decided I really wanted to dull them out a bit more. And so I brushed that black wash over it. And I did slather that pretty much because it's really not that easy to see. but I wanted those parts to be a little more dull, a little more beaten. Now, the jetpack. I have to admit something to you guys, and I think I said this in my preview or my last build, my update. I didn't want to put that on at first. But when I put it on to get a couple pictures, I have to admit I liked how it looked, and so I left it on. A couple tips for this with the building. One is if you're going to put something in his hands, either the gun, which I didn't use, or the hammer, you need to make sure that the gripping hand, you put that on last because you have to build it around the piece. It wasn't a big deal for me. I had assembled it the way it said it in the instructions, and then I had to pull it off and take it apart and put it back together. That's a nice thing with a snap kit. And this is a pretty good snap kit. When you have something where you made a mistake, you can take it apart and change it, right? I had another mistake when I put the legs together. I actually had the upper legs on backwards. And I didn't really realize it until I put them on the body and discovered that his knees were bending the wrong direction. So, and I don't know how I was stupid enough to not catch that before, but I didn't. But fortunately, again, with the snap fit, if you don't glue the thing together, you can pull it apart and switch it up, which is exactly what I did. So all in all, and he's very poseable. His arms and legs move pretty well. They pivot at the hips. I mean, he's not like ultra flexible. He's a robot, but he's pretty poseable. The problem is with this jetpack on the back, it becomes fairly top heavy. There's part of me that wishes I had put a little bit of weight in these here, but I didn't. And he does stand. You'll see that in the pictures at the end. But overall, this was a fun kit. I had a good time with it. If you see one of these floating around, pick it up and build it. That's my entry for the Random Weirdness Group Build this year. I hope you guys that have built it enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing the ones that aren't done yet. I look forward to seeing what you did. So that's what I have for you for today. Yeah, what I have for you for today. I speak English, I really do. Remember, guys, model building's supposed to be fun. I'm having a good time with this. Take care and have a great day.
We'll check out some kits and some builds I've done, 'cause model building is supposed to be fun. So push play and away we go. It's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Yeah, it's time for the Glue Bomb Show. Let's go!